to ArchRivals Football, sponsored by Raz Energy and Steiner Sports. Here is your starting lineup. Number 20, Darnell the Playmaker Sallins. Number 94, Alex the Bearman Kazzaz. Number 69, Ricky the Prez Litwinkowich. And in tribute to our fallen colleague, ArchRivals Football, Ring of Honor member, Alex Fleming. This show is a Pain Train Pipe Bomb production. What is up? It is Tuesday night. It is December 14th, 2021. And I am here with the Bearman, Mr. Alex Kazzaz. What's doing, Bearman?
Oh, doing actually pretty good lately. I mean, my shows have been killing it, and I feel like things are finally to come together. Hard work pays off, folks.
Yes, I know it does. And one of those things that we get to say about hard work is that we obviously are currently now being backed by the SuperDraftPro.com and SuperDraft Sportsbook. They are very elemental in what we do for the show. All of our picks, the lines will be from off of the Sports Draft Sportsbook, and fantasy football with the Super Draft Pro. I got to tell you, Alex, that app is amazing.
I know it. I know it is, and I promise to start using the app this coming month. I'm got a couple things to take care of first, and then I'll do it. I promise.
Well, I'll tell you, the fantasy on there, you could do fantasy NFL, you could do fantasy NBA, you could do fantasy NHL, which is completely amazing, by the way. I've won 4 times already since I started using the app. So I'm kind of doing good on this. So if you haven't yet, get on that app.
It's a true work of art.
Oh, let me tell you, it is absolutely ridiculous when I can tell you that fantasy football on that app it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So
well, as far as podcasting goes, next month will be the biggest paycheck of podcasting career, and I know that it's only going to get better and better.
I'm actually putting the link in the chat. There we go. That's in there.
Well, speaking of the revenue on my shows, it's just boom. Like this week, I've broken the record twice of the amount of the revenue in a day. So I'm like, something's happening. But you know what? Best thing to do is, like you said, just keep going. It can only get better. You just keep doing it.
Well, we speak about getting better. Unfortunately, the NFL, however, is getting worse.
Not so much, my friend.
It is getting worse by the moment. I really just don't understand it. It's just one of those anomalies.
It's basically something you don't want in your life. It's unwanted drama.
I just cannot realize the fact of that it is so bad right now. 36 players. 36 players. Now on the COVID bastard list.
You just said it, right?
Yeah, I know. It slipped.
Well, it's that frustrating. It's not your fault. It slipped out, okay? Is that it? It slipped out.
Yeah, it did. I can't help but say it that the worldwide bastard is going bananas. And it's one of those unfortunate things. It really is one of those unfortunate things. Right off the list, we're going to go off with some of these names. We got the Critical Broncos fan. It's John. What's doing? We're talking about the global.
John.
We're talking about the global bastard to start off the show because we got 3 games to pick, even though normally we don't pick the 3 games tonight. But because now the NFL started doing Saturday games, we got those to go along as well. And by the way, I only had 3 losses this weekend. Bearman, I know you were right up my tailpipe on the fantasy thing. But it just so happens I caught up to first place. I am within minor points of taking over our pick thing.
Oh, as far as fantasy goes, I think I'm way out of the game. I mean, I'm 8-6. I think I'm way out.
Well, on the ESPN Pick'em,
Yeah. Oh, the pick
You're
going
in
well.
you're in third. I'm in second, and I think I'm only like 30 points out of first.
Yeah, Mr. McSwain's probably still in first.
Yes, but not by much. He had a very big losing weekend this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I've warned him. You might beat Ricky at first, but at the end of the day, you don't beat Mr. Litwinkowich.
Mind you, that's also with 1 week missing off of there. So
Right.
if my week was on there, I'd be light years ahead. Just
And
saying that, you know.
and I wouldn't say I got the Ravens pick wrong. I just didn't expect Lamar Jackson to get hurt. But some
I don't
say
think
it wouldn't have mattered.
regardless of whether he got hurt or not, I don't think they were going to win. But
Yeah, well, in your case, yeah, but not for me. I did pick the Ravens, but
so we do have
we'll
some
get to that.
key names that did go on this global bastard list. 8 of them from the Cleveland Browns, including Austin Hooper, Jarvis Landry, David Njoku is still on there from the 7th. Dallas has Cedric Wilson on there just as of yesterday, the 13th. We have, let me see if some other key names on here. Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs is on this list. Center Scott Quisenberry from the Chargers is on there. The Rams, OBJ, Terrell Burgess, Bryce Hopkins, Jordan Fuller, Juju Hughes, Alaric Jackson. And then before yesterday's game, we also had Jalen Ramsey on that list, along with tackle Rob Havensworth. Philip Lindsay of the Miami Dolphins is now currently on the global bastard list.
D.J. Westbrook of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes. 2 Patriots that probably will mean absolutely diddly to Saturday's game are on that list with Dalton Keene and J.J. Taylor.
3 Saints, Ty Montgomery, Mark Ingram, and Mr. Cam Jordan.
We got Kadarius Toney from the Giants.
And then Mike White. Mike White's. Well, it says here though he's been on the list. Apparently, he's still on the list. He's been on the list since November 23rd.
Oh, he's just getting killed.
At least that's what my source says.
Well, Justin Hardy is the only one from the Jets that's recently on that list. But
yeah,
global bastard taking over again in the NFL.
Look at that. Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Seattle, Tampa have none.
Yeah, I know, right? They're the only clean teams. Apparently, they go by the NFL protocols. We got Mr. Sean Matry doing the Twitch tonight. Thank you, Sean, for that lovely jump in. We needed badly over there.
Yeah, I feel bad for John. John, got every game right, and some of the scores being close, but his Monday Night Football streak, it's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. Okay, I had to get that out.
Sorry, John.
All right, so
and speaking of John, I got to give the guy a shout out because he told me he listened to my recap of the Washington football team, and I swear to God, John is that intelligent that he actually listens and understands what I said. It's because we think alike. It's because he and I have common sense. Like we see it, we tell the damn truth. I mean, if there's one thing that John and I don't do, just like this show, there's one thing is we are not fake news. We do our research. We tell it like it is. That's how journalism is supposed to be done. But John, your support means a lot, and I'm not surprised he listens to my show. He's always here. John is loyal, like Lars.
John may have to be on Saturday for a little while.
I would love that.
I don't know if we have the Playmaker on, but it's going to be a very big weekend because on Saturday's show as well, we'll be doing some a little bit of live updating because we'll have Cleveland, I think, versus the Raiders on Saturday. I think that's the matchup. I'm not sure. But
let me pull up the schedule. Yeah, I didn't even think because the whole COVID thing got distracted. Oh man, now I said it. Great, we're even.
Yeah, I'll bleep. I'll try it. You know what? I'm not even bleeping it out. I don't even care.
Well, you know what? It slipped out, but we're even. But I got so distracted by the whole worldwide bastard thingy that on Saturday, yep, the Raiders and Browns do square off in Cleveland.
See, my old memory.
The dog pound.
My old memory isn't that bad, I guess. They drilled it into me so many times between Sunday and Monday. All right. So started to get into some of these recaps here. We had the Thursday night affair. It was Pittsburgh losing to the Minnesota Vikings 36-28. Obviously, we covered that on Friday's show, not Saturday, just to scare everybody. All right. Briefly, Bearman, give me the outlook on your 9-4 Cowboys, who defeated the Washington football
Oh
team
boy.
27-20, 1 o'clock on Sunday.
I swear to God, this Cowboys defense, I've never seen them like be so resilient, and the fact that for the second consecutive game they carry the Cowboys to a win. You know what? This defense is just absolutely amazing, and Dak Prescott nearly choked the game away, and the Cowboys defense bailed him out. That's why I went on Facebook. I said that he is damn lucky to have a defense right now, because if it weren't for the defense, we would have lost that game. But then again, and as I gave credit to Washington. I mean, Washington's defense, you got to give credit to them for their resiliency, because they were in it the whole time. But the Cowboys offense remains in a slump. I mean, you know what? Dak Prescott is in a slump. You know what? He's far from being a true MVP candidate. But quite frankly, all this season, I never considered him to be an MVP candidate anyway. Of course, that's going to get me death threats, but I don't care. It's the truth.
John
Let's be honest. Was he truly a candidate for MVP?
Well, John says Dak ships are concerning, but if Pollard comes back, the pressure should be lifted off his shoulders. I kind of agree and disagree with that. I mean, at some point, defenses are going to start to clamp down on the run, and obviously we're still not seeing the full 15 to 20 carries from Zeke. What did he have, like 47 yards rushing on Sunday?
Something like that. And right now and I want to explain about the offensive inconsistency, because people don't get it. He had 12 carries for 45 yards. The problem with the offense's inconsistency, it's not just on Dak. It ranges from Dak because he overthrows and underthrows, and then it goes to the receivers who don't run the route correctly, who don't catch the damn ball. And then also it ranges because the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, is calling the most ridiculous plays, and he's been doing that for a while now. I mean, he did that last year too. I mean, he's known for it. I mean, the beginning of the season, when the Cowboys were on that streak, he was calling it, very good plays, but still doing that, making bad calls like maybe once or twice in the game. But lately, Kellen Moore is just really proving why that he shouldn't be calling the damn plays. I mean, I said that last year. I said last year he should relinquish that. Mike McCarthy should be calling the plays. Of course, people don't understand. I get heat for it, but that's because it is what it is. They just don't get it. They can't handle the truth. But the offense is a fucking mess.
Well,
but the offensive line is not the worst thing, because Prescott's not getting sacked as many times. I mean, Prescott is making careless errors. Those 2 interceptions against Washington were on him, especially the pick six. You saw it.
Well, again, I don't want to pry very much on the fact of Dak's numbers, because even though they do kind of look really pedestrian, a lot of quarterback play this year has not been even close to par, I would have to say, at some points.
For like the league overall.
Obviously, you're going to have the ones that are going to stand out the most, like Rodgers, Brady. I mean, even last night with, Matt Stafford, like, some of those numbers are great, but there are quarterbacks that are not having great years this year. So I don't want to really harp on the numbers. Do I think that he could have probably made better decisions during the game? Yeah. But at the same rate, again, like, it's the Cowboys. You put a W on the board. You do further yourselves away from the next team in your division, and it's one step closer to winning the division. You're still currently in the playoff run right now. I believe the Cowboys are the number 4 seed in the NFC playoffs.
Something like that. But here's the problem. I mean, that pick six was completely careless. So there was a play where he got sacked where though a hole opened up, he should have just ran immediately. He did not do it. Yeah, see, they were critical. Broncos fan brings up a good point. Dak had some good protection for the most part. And you see, and then Dak just, doesn't take advantage of it. You see, that's the problem. Dak is in a slump. I'm not going to deny it. Jerry Jones even apparently had difficulty admitting it. I'm like, dude, he's in a slump. You gotta tell it like it is. The dude's in a slump, and he's not an MVP candidate.
Well, let's see what else we got going on this lovely little crazy mess of a Sunday. Oh yes, a mess. Titans 20, now going to 9-4. Jaguars down to a paltry 2-11 Jaguars team. Yes, the Titans did cover. However, I really do find the issue being this was kind of low scoring for them. I would kind of thought that they would have smoked them by more than 20.
I anything could have happened. Speaking of this game, apparently something about Urban Meyer briefly went on the was briefly leaked about him. Well, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, but obviously Urban denies it. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get into that anyway because we don't know anything about it. If there's been no effort to report much effort anyway to report it, it's not worth the effort to even talk about it. But yeah, 20-0 really caught me by surprise. But Tennessee won. I got that right.
You know what? Like I don't know. Like I'm just not looking at this the way I really want to be doing it. But Jacksonville is just kind of like hapless at this point. It's another team in a rebuilding stage. Let's get this sorted out, okay? Did Urban Meyer think he was going to have something really big off the beginning? Probably so. However, he just I don't think he's just fit for the NFL at this point. He is losing the players by the minute. And from what I had heard understood from before, Marvin Jones got quit practice or whatever, or he left practice, and then he went back, and then him and Urban Meyer got into an argument at the practice facility or whatever. Again, if you are not keeping the interest of your players on the team, it does not bode well for your NFL career.
No.
And I don't want to take anything off the Titans, but they really should have smoked the Jaguars.
Could it be that maybe the Titans were on cruise control? They were playing somewhat mercifully?
I really wouldn't think so. I mean, yeah, you want to win the game, but you should still be a little bit more experimental as you go through.
Big time.
All right. Next game is another 20-point blowout. We have the Seattle Seahawks, who are now 5-8, visiting the Houston Texans, who are now 2-11. Final score 33-13. Russell looks like Russell a little bit. I'm not saying that this is again one of those games that you could really sit there and rely on, because now the Seahawks are playing the Rams next week. Maybe it is a get right game or whatever. Seattle's still on the long shot run for the playoffs. And comment of Davis Mills is definitely looking like a journeyman QB. Let's give him some better weapons and see. If Deshaun Watson's not going to be there next year, let's see what they really have. Let's put some weapons in there and see what they really have. And I'm not talking about just Rex Burkhead, because that just doesn't help.
I mean, David Mills' numbers were very respectable. 33 for 49, 331 yards and a touchdown.
He put up decent numbers.
Yeah.
He did do that. So at least let's not kill him on that range.
No. But yeah, but as far as Russell Wilson goes, yeah, he did look a bit like his former self. Or maybe I should say he's still himself.
So next game up we had was in Kansas City, Missouri, hosting the Vegas Raiders.
The fact that my boys lost to this Raiders team that got its butt kicked by nearly 40 points.
Thank you, Sean, for the hosting. Rashad Penny did have a $137. Again, although he was against Houston. Chiefs 48, Raiders 9. It's been about 3 years since the Chiefs have scored that many points in a complete game. Where this game, they were up by 30-something points before half, and then cruised after the half was over. My shout out to the Raiders Nation. Make sure you let your team know. Do not have a team meeting on the home team's logo. You will get thine ass kicked. Legitimately. By the home team. I just don't even understand the concept of that. Not at all. I mean, why do you do that?
I mean, it's like, did they really think that doing that was actually going to have no consequences? Did they really think that they were going to humiliate the Chiefs by doing that? Because if they did, I mean, hey, they're the ones who got humiliated.
Raiders are done. I mean, they're not far out of the race for the AFC West. They're not far out of the wild card in the AFC, but they're done. I hate to say it. I don't have any faith in them.
How do you think I feel the fact that my team lost on Thanksgiving by this team that just got its butt kicked by nearly 40 points?
Again, like I just don't understand. I just don't understand what the malfunction is in Vegas. And yeah, I mean they're sometimes in games and they look competitive. The Raiders just looked completely lost.
And in fact, John knows what I'm saying because his Broncos were embarrassed by them too. Yeah, boy, oh boy.
And they get to play each other again soon too, I think.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos embarrassed them then.
Okay, we had another embarrassment at MetLife Stadium this weekend. Just end the season hosting the New Orleans Saints. Final score, Saints 30, Jets 9. Zach Wilson must be seeing more than just ghosts because he looked absolutely disgusting on Sunday.
Okay, this whole thing about seeing ghosts, is this a deliberate thing to make fun of us people who do believe in ghosts?
No, it was actually the reference to last year where the
Sam Darnold?
Yeah, the Sam Darnold thing.
No, I know that, but did he start this thing just to deliberately make fun of us paranormal enthusiasts?
Well, they nicknamed the Patriots defense the Boogeymen.
Oh, boy.
And it was a real big thing for the last 2 years, and apparently Zach Wilson is just still, like, got tremendously big, happy feet. His throwing motions are way off. It's horrible. Sorry, I'm yawning. I've been up all day.
Yeah, same here. But this game is basically, either you yawn or you're gonna puke, right?
Well, unfortunately for me, I had to sit through this Jersey sludge on Sunday because a lot of my games were not coming up on the computer, which I'm not gonna blame the computer for. I blame the company that was giving me the links. But you got Alvin Kamara back. You got Taysom Hill running the ball and throwing the ball at the same time. The finger on his throwing hand is still messed up in a way, so you can see the way that he's kind of lobbing the ball around. But the Saints actually did look like the Saints for the first time in a long time since Jameis went down. Thank God for no Trevor.
Kamara back.
Yeah, well, again, when you got Kamara running the ball and being that option in the flats, the check downs, it's going to be a lot easier. But the Saints actually looked like a football team Sunday.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Taysom Hill, scored twice. I mean, that's Taysom Hill. His best ability is just him running the ball.
Well, it's good to see that the Saints are still in it. They are, however, playing Tampa this coming weekend, so that should be a litmus test to see of whether they're actually going to be playoff bound or not. And I will have something to say about the playoffs picture after we get done with this.
Let's be honest, we all know what's going to happen.
All right. Yes, the NFC is a joke. Because we had this joke of a game. We had the Falcons visiting the Carolina Panthers. Panthers now at paltry 5-8. Falcons are back in the playoff picture at 6-7. Final score, Falcons 29. Carolina 21. He's back on the bench.
Didn't Darnell predict pick the Panthers for this game?
I believe he did, but I also didn't expect Cam to get benched again. And apparently, nobody has really learned their lesson from the last season and a half from him being in New England, because he has just been a complete dumpster fire. And yes, I am talking about Cam Newton. So, Panthers fans, I apologize. You have taken the burden off of Bill Belichick's back and brought it home to Carolina, where, like I said before, hey, I'm back on the bench. And another thing that I do really want to kind of shout out. which is probably one of the reasons why I regretted picking the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. Our co-host, Mr. Playmaker, shouted out that Mr. Hubbard was a good running back. Alex, do you have Hubbard's stats, please?
Oh yes. Oh yes. 10 carries for 33 yards. No catches. And I guess that's it.
So much for that outlook.
Well, he did score a touchdown.
But he ran for 33 yards.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's like
That's the
he had
problem.
10 carries for 33 yards.
Yeah.
Which means he was as effective as a pimple on a bull. Like it was not even close to being anything worth mentioning.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn Carolina. Like damn you. You know, if I knew there was anything else better than barbecue down in Carolina, I may visit again. Just saying. All righty, we have next up on the docket. Oh my God, did I not see this one coming? The Dog Pound.
Oh boy.
Hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Final score: Browns 24, Ravens 22. Browns now go to 7-6. Ravens are now 8-5. Ravens officially fall out of the number 1 seed in the AFC. They are still leading the North Division, however, not by much, but they are still in first place in that division. Obviously, Lamar Jackson getting hurt in the first quarter did not help, which I will say viably so. The Ravens backup did a halfway decent job of getting them closer into the game. They did have a chance to win it, but they screwed the pooch on that one too.
I mean, yeah, you did pick Cleveland, but I picked Baltimore. But I mean, I can honestly say I never. Some might say, "Well, you didn't expect Lamar Jackson to get hurt." I'm like, yeah, but either way, I mean, you made that clear that either way Cleveland wins. But and speaking of Lamar Jackson, do we have an update on him now?
He was in a walking boot. Game time. I think it's going to probably be by Friday where they make the decision of whether he plays or not. At this point, do we want to see them do the same thing that Washington did to RG3? I'm not sure if that's the same situation or not. I would kind of see it as that way. But now the Ravens, I believe, fell to third in the AFC in standings, which we'll get to in a little bit. Let's just say this again, okay? For a gentleman who came out and said what he said at the beginning of the year, I'm going to beat it like a wet noodle. I'm not even joking when I say this. He put himself in the crosshairs of every bullet known to man. And obviously him getting hurt on Sunday was a huge bullet to the Baltimore Ravens. But the Browns were all over this game. They were all over. Offensively, I thought they did fairly well. That defense came to play.
Big time. It says here that he had a right ankle sprain, and that they do plan on playing him against the Green Bay Packers. So
I may have to get out the funeral dirge for next Tuesday's show when we find out that Lamar Jackson gets killed against the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, if they do play him and he suffers an even bigger injury, then oh boy.
Yep, Tyler Huntley is going to look pretty good on Sunday. Yes, they did.
Might as well put him. He played great against the Cleveland defense. I would just put him.
But you know what, though? Yes. Cleveland did have a 21-point lead and did nearly blow it, but did we expect the Ravens to sit down? I didn't expect the Ravens to sit down, only because of the fact being is that every game this year, they've started off slow. It's like the gun has fired, the green light is on, and the Ravens are doing 5 miles an hour while everybody else is doing 50. That's the perfect comparison to it. The Ravens have started off slow in every game this year. That is not Ravens football.
Nope, not at all.
And I don't want to hear anything about the running game either, because the running game was fairly decent. I give them that. Okay? But it wasn't barring that big comeback by the backup, Mr. Huntley. Then, this game would have been pretty much a blowout. All right. Next up, the San Diego / LA Chargers. Hosting the hapless next year Giants fans. Final score, Chargers 37, Giants 21. Chargers go to 8-5. Giants go to 4-9. On the verge of being virtually eliminated from playoff contention for the New York Giants. And this is a game that I absolutely had zero interest in.
The only thing I want to know is an update on Mr. Daniel Jones, but I'm guessing you said it, like they're not going to put him on injured reserve, are they?
Let's kind of dramatically look at this. There's 4 games left of the season. What are the Giants playing for?
Absolutely nothing. Well, for pride, I guess.
I think they're only playing to show that the team, that 3/4 of the team has somewhat of testicular fortitude to even put the uniform on every Sunday and go out there and play. Let's be honest. At this point right now, you might as well just shut Danny Dimes down. He's more like
Might as well.
He's more like Danny half pennies at this point. Not even quarters. Or a full penny for that matter.
I mean, I'm curious to know Mr. Wallman's thoughts on this particular situation, but
I'll be honest with you. I think Jake Fromm should have started on Sunday to see what they even had anyway.
Are they going to continue to play Mike Glennon?
Once again, Mike Glennon has not won a game since 2017. What are you playing for? If you took somebody off of somebody else's practice squad, don't you think you should see what you got in him first?
Right?
Before you run away?
I mean, that's I guess that's Joe Judge's call, right?
And the other news for the New York Giants is that Dave Gettleman is being let go, or he's told that at season's end, you need to go and pack your shit and leave. Which means kind of doom for Joe Judge, because once they bring in a new GM, the new GM is going to be wanting to bring in their own coach and staff. So,
I mean, it says here at CBS Sports yesterday says that Leonard Williams may have suffered a significant injury. I'd imagine, is it a torn ACL maybe?
Jackson Harris says YouTube TV is dropping ABC and all the Disney channels. How am I going to get to watch my game on the 31st against Michigan? Jackson, when it comes around that time, I will get you a link so you can watch the game. So hit me up around like the 30th. Giants will not start a young QB when the main starter is sucking or injured. Geno Smith over the Texas Tech QB in 2017.
The Texas Tech QB is Davis Webb. I actually know Davis Webb personally. He went to he and I he went to my high school before he transferred. Yeah.
We should get him on the show just for Giants fans.
Well, I mean, I haven't spoken to him in so many years. He's never on social media, so I'll try it.
Okay. Next up, let's see here. Ah, yes. John's team. The Denver Broncos hosting the officially one-win team of the Detroit Lions. Final score, Broncos 38, Lions 10. Broncos go to 7-6. Lions have ones across the board at 1, 11, and 1. What a palindrome we have going on there. If you don't know what a palindrome is, look it up in a dictionary.
Look it up.
We are not doing English class on the show today.
Thank God.
Actually, Jackson is asking, who do you think is going to win, Georgia or Michigan? Well, I am not the college analyst. I'll leave that to Alex.
I mean, I'm not much of a college football analyst. I mean, all I want is to see a good game. That's all I can say.
I can say that too. If I watch college football. Anyways,
but to answer the dude's question, who do I think is going to win? I mean, I really don't know. I really don't. I don't know what to say.
I'm going to say Michigan only because Tom Brady went there.
All right. I mean, Michigan beat Ohio State, and then Georgia lost to Alabama, so anything can happen. But anyway.
So, as much as I would love to delve deep into the actual game in itself, the only proud thing that I can say about this game is this. The Denver Broncos honored Demaryius Thomas the first play of the game. I was extremely actually emotional when that happened. The Denver Broncos did go out with 10 players, not 11. Left DT's position empty. Take the game, Jesus Christ, I lost the name of the penalty there.
The delay of game?
Yes, thank you.
The referee didn't even throw the flag, did he?
Yes, he did. However,
he did? Okay.
Detroit declined the penalty.
Yeah, out of respect.
So, that was huge. It was legit. Everything DT on Sunday. So I do credit the Denver Broncos for actually honoring him. Like I had said on Friday's show to begin with, he's always going to be remembered as a Bronco. He's not going to get remembered as a Pat. He's not going to get remembered as a Jet. He's going to be remembered as a Bronco. And I do hope and pray that the Broncos do the 88 on the helmets, patch on the jersey or whatever, because DT was a Bronco and he should be a Bronco for life.
Amen.
And John's also keep reminding me about the Texans thing, and I don't even remember him being there personally.
Well, he beat me. He beat me to that.
But he's still remembered as a Bronco. So
yeah.
Okay. We're in the 4:00 slate. 49ers at Cincinnati. Final score, 49ers 26. Bengals 23. Apparently, the San Francisco 49ers have never lost to the Cincinnati Bengals, especially after beating them twice in the Super Bowl. Jimmy G, fairly decent game. Bengals did come back to tie this game at 23, miraculously, but lost in overtime.
14 points in the fourth quarter for Cincinnati, and
the one touchdown that the Bengals had, that was an amazing pass play by Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase.
Joe Burrow's numbers are very good: 348 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. And John's saying George Kittle is a beast, whom I believe he got a contract extension too, by the way. I did read that somewhere. I think it was a 4-year extension or something. I don't know where I saw that from, but I think that was one of the things I read earlier this week. All right, we have up a game. This was actually a game. Tampa Bay hosting the Buffalo Bills. Final score, Tampa 33, Buffalo 27. Bucks move to 10-3. They are second in the NFC conference race for the playoffs. Buffalo Bills 7-6, officially second in the AFC East, in the 7th spot in the AFC conference race for the playoffs. Bearman, do you want to you want to talk about this a little more first before I bury the Buffalo Bills?
I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, other than the fact that the Bills start off strong and things have just been getting bad, and in your case, I mean, it's not only the Bills you get to bury, but you get to bury the fans that decided to insult you when you said the Patriots could still win when you picked the Patriots to win the division.
I have to say it this way, okay? The Buffalo Bills started off 7-1. Look at that.
They were 7-1? Okay,
I
because
think
I
they have
forgot about that.
They have lost quite a few games recently. They lost to Tampa. They lost to the New England Patriots the week before that. They've lost to the Tennessee Titans, just to name a few. They're not beating teams with winning records. Obviously, Tampa came into this game at 9-3. I'm not going to say
Yeah, you're
that
right.
they didn't finish out strong, because Buffalo did finish out strong by getting the game tied and going to OT. However, I also have to rip on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well, who had a viable lead in this game and pissed it away. When you have your foot on the throat of your opponent, you crush it. You just don't rest your foot on the throat and say, we're just going to let time tick away.
No, sir.
Tampa did that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did.
Them.
It nearly did cost them. For a player, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be correct on this one, who had only one catch in the game, and it was the game-winning catch. And that was Rashard Perriman. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One catch, game winner in overtime. Buffalo Bills fans have to be completely miserable at this point.
Big time.
Because they had their foot on the throat of the New England Patriots. They had their foot on the throat of the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are now on a tear. Patriots now on a tear. Buffalo could possibly finish this year in third. After being in the lead of the division for so long. Let that marinate for a minute there. Buffalo Bills led the AFC East and the conference for almost the majority of the season and possibly couldn't even make the playoffs at this point. That's how bad the Buffalo Bills are right now.
I think John just might have made your night, because if you get Tom Brady's record, Tom Brady still owns the Bills. Because his record is 33-3 against Buffalo. Of course, he has to say, Aaron Rodgers, eat your heart out.
But again, Buffalo Bills drop. I'm not even saying it's a heartbreaker, because they were behind the majority of the game. They looked really, really horrible. Tampa just did not really put them away when they should have.
Right,
if Tampa does,
cost them.
But if Tampa does this in the playoffs, that could screw them. But if Buffalo plays like this for the rest of the season, and they don't make the playoffs, the head coach is getting fired.
I mean, that's two teams that kind of nearly shot themselves in the foot. I mean, that's Dallas and Tampa, but both teams salvaged it.
Again, these are two things that you're going to have to really look for later on in the season. What's up, Nisi? We haven't gotten to your team yet. However, we did get to this one here. Sunday Night Football.
Hey, Mies.
Green Bay hosting the Bears. Final score, Packers 45, Bears 30. Packers moved to, I believe, the number 1 seed in the NFC conference.
Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate.
10-3, the Bears fall to a whopping paltry 4-9. Justin Fields did actually show me something in this game. He does look like a little child wearing an oversized helmet, by the way. I am just realizing this now. Like, that helmet just looks way too big on his head. And, yeah, apparently Aaron Rodgers was asked in a conference about his thing saying that he owns the Bears. Now, I believe Aaron Rodgers has only lost to the Bears 4 times ever in his career. I think he's like a 17-4 record.
Something like that.
But, again, this game here was close for a little while in the first half, and then all of a sudden the second half happened, and the Packers exploded, and the Bears just looked really lost and confused, needed a roadmap, a Garmin GPS, satellite, Google Maps, to even just score the, I believe, 13 points in the second half.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to know that the Bears have a lot of key decisions that they have to think about in the offseason because all of their top-tier talents will all be up for free agency. But Fields did actually show me something. I think the turnovers were a little too much for him to handle, and that's where it kind of has gotten him in trouble. But the career for the future of Mr. Fields may actually be bright if they can just get him a little bit more straightened out and groomed, and a little bit of a better running game, I would think.
I mean, they gotta surround him with talent. I mean, it's just the fact that a total of 45 points were scored in the second quarter. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were 27-21 at halftime. The Bears led and they got completely shut down in the second half. With the Packers scoring 24 points.
Again,
And this was in Lambeau. I mean, it's not often you see the Bears have even if it's briefly, it's rare for the Bears to dominate Lambeau Field.
It is true though, but
at least nowadays.
But again, it also does show that the Green Bay Packers are a little bit vulnerable on defense if they're giving up 30. Luckily enough, they had Aaron Rodgers on the other side who just scored more points. I mean, that's how that kind of works.
I mean, so now as we ask, how much more does Aaron Rodgers have left? And it doesn't look like he's going to quit anytime soon.
Well, I wish Darnell was here for this. Monday Night Football. In a game that was tied at 13 at half, the Arizona Cardinals hosting the LA Rams. Final score, Rams 30, Cardinals 23. I will give the Cardinals a little bit of a kick in the yam bag for the way that they played up till the fourth quarter because Kyler did not look like Kyler a lot at all through the first three quarters of this game. However, the fourth quarter, he did kind of step up until that last drive where he got smoked by Aaron Donald for the final play of the game. Rams...
well, that particular play, keep in mind, like Murray at first had a big run, and then a holding penalty took it away.
They had 3 penalties on that last drive that screwed them. There was a hold. There was a false start. And I think there was another minor penalty after that was like another 5 yard.
Ineligible player on the field or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But I will say this, though. I give kudos to Mr. Prater, who now has 4 onside kicks this year. Successful. He is 4 for 13 on the onside kick. And that's the only reason that really kept them in the game was that onside kick. Because if they didn't recover that onside kick, they would have had no shot the last drive. I think, however, though, that they could have, on one of their drives, taken the points instead of going for it on 4th and 2, which would have been the smarter idea. Because you only would have had to kick the field goal again later on. But I think a little bit of the play calling by Kingsbury was just not good.
I mean, Arizona would have clinched the playoffs if they had won this game. They probably would have clinched the division, right?
No, they wouldn't have clinched the division with 4 to go. I think they would have clinched a playoff spot.
Okay.
But they wouldn't have clinched the division because the Rams would still have been 3 games behind with 4 to go. So the Rams would have, at least at that point, just been playing for the playoff spot.
I mean, the Cardinals are just not the same team at home that they are on the road. I mean, on the road, they're a perfect 6-0. I mean, that's what I have to tell these Cowboy fans, because as soon as they see how Kyler played, they're already starting their trash talking, saying that we're going to beat them when we play them. Like, we play them the Cowboys play them at home, okay? The Cardinals are better on the road than at home. But I mean, Murray had a bad game, and the bad play calling. I mean, maybe it was just a bad day at the office. I mean, we'll have to see how they do in their next game. But
just think of it this way: if it ends up being that the playoffs start today, Green Bay is the number 1 seed. Arizona plays their next 4 games indoors. They have 2 home games. I think they play 1 in Detroit
and 1 in Dallas.
And 1 in Dallas. So they don't
Well,
see
Arlington,
they don't
Arlington, honestly.
they don't see a game outdoors until maybe the first round of the playoffs. Think of that.
Well, the fact that the playoffs scare me because if my team makes it, if we have to go with the Rams or the Packers in the first round, God damn it, we're screwed.
Which will make life really, really interesting.
Yeah,
that I will say that.
I want to hear the end of it from Darnell.
All right, I'm waiting for the schedule to load up for week 15.
I got it. If you need it.
Well, I need to have the graphic for the screen.
All that okay.
Yes. Okay.
We got to preview 3 games because 3. There's 1 on Thursday and then 2 on Saturday.
And we'll do a little bit of a touch up on Friday's Pipe Bomb Radio. We'll have a little ArchRivals segment that we're going to throw in there because when we're on the air on Saturday, we'll be also on during a game, which I'll give a little bit of updates for. All right, week 15 starts off with a division matchup. This is the 9-4 Chiefs visiting the 8-5 Chargers. Now, the reason why this game is so interesting is I believe the winner of this game takes over first place in the AFC West, if my mind serves me correct. And that's through some tiebreakers or whatever. So, again, that's going to make life really, really interesting. Hey, Nick! What's going on, Nick? We got Nick Van Gastelli over there on the Twitch.
All right.
So, once again, we have the official lines off of the Super Draft Sportsbook app, which has the Chargers as a 3-point favorite at home with an under-over of 52.
Under-over of 52.
Yes, 52 points. What do you got, Alex? What do you think about this game?
Well, Kansas City just crushed Las Vegas, and the Chargers just beat the Giants. So both teams are coming off wins against horrible teams. Now, the first meeting, the Chargers actually took the win in Kansas City, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, let me double check. I could have sworn that happened. No, the Chargers did beat Kansas City in the first meeting. It was 30-24.
Well, at this point, definitely, if the Chargers end up winning this game, then they would take over first in the AFC West. They would then put them in the top 4 in the AFC playoff picture, which I believe they are the 6 or 7 seed currently in the AFC. So that would make life pretty damn interesting. Let me just double check this.
I got Kansas City winning this time. I mean, Justin Herbert can probably have a game where he looks like a stud, but Chris Jones from Kansas City is out, right?
Yes, he's out for the global bastard.
So that's definitely so I guess that's a little bit of a luck on Mr. Herbert. So I mean, I guess the question is, can the Chargers defense handle the Chiefs? And so I mean, go either way, but I think the Chiefs win it.
As much as I want to say that I have faith in the Chargers at this point, I probably don't. And here's why. They are one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams throughout the entire year so far. And as much as I would love for the Chargers to stick it to the Kansas City Chiefs and get the tiebreaker and a better division record and everything else, I'm probably going to roll with the Kansas City Chiefs. My concern is the fact that if the Chiefs don't start off quick, this is going to be one of those trap games where you're going to sit there and say, are we going to see the Kansas City Chiefs get out of the quicksand and start to progress? Or are we going to see them as that jackrabbit that they were against the Raiders, where they legitimately came out fast, did the old Kansas City way where it actually did work on Sunday against the Raiders? Those are my two questions. Like, which Kansas City team are we going to see? We already know what the Chargers are capable of. We got to see if Kansas City is going to stay true to the ship.
Well, that also goes for San Diego. I mean, so now we're talking which Kansas City Chiefs team shows up, but also which San Diego team shows up, because that's been, you described it as a Jekyll and Hyde situation all season. So,
and that's
that goes for both teams. Which Los Angeles team shows up, and which Kansas City team shows up. So, I have a family vacation coming up in San Diego, so San Diego's been on my mind a lot lately.
Listen, as long as I can sit there and remind you of maybe trying to find me like one of those out of reach Junior Seau jerseys. Wink, wink.
And I know everybody's on the screen noticed the kitty, and he wants his cuddle, so I gotta.
The kitty.
If he meows into the mic, guys, I'm sorry.
All right, since
it's gonna hurt, so I better warn y'all.
Since I know that we're gonna briefly talk about it on Friday, even though Darnell doesn't know about it until he listens to the show. We do have 2 games on Saturday, and we will be on during the first game of the Saturday doubleheader for Week 15. We do have those recently stampeded Vegas Raiders versus the Cleveland Browns. Raiders coming in at 6-7, Browns at 7-6. Now, again, I don't normally like to do this, but we have to prematurely ejaculate the line, which would be Cleveland Browns favored at home by only 3 points. Now, I am going to leave this to that list that we read about the group of the global bastard offenders that just currently went on that lovely dog cage, so to speak. They went in that dog cage because of the global bastard. But that does leave quite a few holes in their 53-man roster for Saturday.
The Las Vegas Raiders just got destroyed, and they're going against another respectable defense, especially with Cleveland. So I wouldn't be surprised if, it was actually reported, whether Derek Carr and the Raiders will part ways after the season. I mean, I don't know what the situation's going on as far as the contract goes, but I don't think, even if they were to move on from Derek Carr, I really doubt that it would be much of a solution. But Las Vegas is missing players, and Cleveland just beat Baltimore, and Cleveland wants to build on it because Cleveland wants to make the playoffs. So,
well,
I'm going to be surprised if the Cleveland Browns destroy the Raiders.
The only thing I see that really kills Cleveland in this is 4 offensive starters, and that would be obviously Austin Hooper, who actually just came back from injury, and now he's on the global bastard list. Yeah. Jarvis Landry, that's part of their passing game. Wyatt Teller, guard. You got Jedrick Willis, tackle. I mean that's legit. A little over a quarter of what your offense is going to be. But I'm going to believe in the Chubb and Hunt run. That did really not sound right. It should be Hunt and Chubb. Well,
Hunt has an ankle injury, I believe, right now.
Yes, but I think he's still slated to play as of now.
Well, he's slated, but anything can happen.
I still have to have a little bit more faith in Cleveland's running game more than anything else. John says he's inactive currently.
Currently.
But that but then again, that could change by Friday. So
I mean, keep in mind, Randy Gregory, Neville Gallimore weren't activated until Saturday.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's the case, I still got to believe in Chubb. And I think Cleveland can run all over the Raiders.
I mean, speaking of Gregory,
I also keep forgetting they have Ernest Johnson too. So, for having him as a third option still is not a bad 1-2 punch there.
No, big time.
So I'm actually going to have a little bit more faith in the turd burglars than I would be in the black hole. It's almost like having a balloon nut. I got to add a little bit of fun to this shit here because we're going to talk about my team next.
Yay! You know what? We saved the best for last, didn't we?
I have not been able to talk about my team in 12 days. We have not played in 12 days going into Saturday's game. It is the 9-4 New England Patriots visiting the 7-6 Colts. This game here is probably going to be one of the games of the weekend. You got.
I believe it. I believe it is. You know what better game to have this than this on a Saturday night? I mean, seriously, think about it.
Colts are a 2.5-point favorite at home. I kind of would figure that. This is one of those games, okay? I don't normally love to talk about running the football because obviously the NFL's turned into a passing league. You have, in my opinion, okay? Opinions are for assholes. Everybody's got one. Everybody thinks everybody else stinks.
They are, John.
This game here is Jonathan Taylor and whoever the backup running back is for the Colts versus Ramondre Stevenson and Mr. Harris. 4 prolific running backs in a game where if the New England Patriots could run the ball 46 times on the Buffalo Bills, imagine what it's going to be like running the ball against the Colts, whom I'm not saying that the Colts division, the Colts defense is in the same class as the Buffalo Bills, but they're viable enough. I cannot wait to see running backs hit the holes. I cannot wait for all of those big pop hits that I love to hear when you have these two guys and they're just ramming into each other. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. I want to see so much smash mouth football on Saturday night. It's not even funny.
Is this rivalry really still alive now that Peyton? Remember the days of the rivalry when Peyton was in Indianapolis and Mr. Thomas Edward Brady was with New England. So I mean, is the rivalry pretty much dead, or is it just there? It's just probably not as intense anymore.
I just don't think it's as intense anymore. Obviously, There's no Brady. Peyton's been gone for God knows how long.
Over 10 years, almost 10 years now. I mean, 10 years ago was his final year, but he was hurt. He had neck injury.
You gotta kind of look at that, right? And John, I'm not gonna say this is a DTA. I'm not gonna say this is a DTA. And the only reason why I'll say that is this: both teams are playoff bound. They're both playoff bound. Okay, you have a conference where you have 12 teams with a 500 record or better. That means that there's 6 turd burglars running around in the back trying to figure out what's going on, and you got all of these teams looking for a viable playoff run. Okay? The Colts are still sniffing up the Tennessee Titans' ass. Let's be honest. They're still in a run for that division. Okay? My concern with this game is going to be time of possession. Not turnovers. Time of possession. Okay?
We'll have to say in unison. I tried it. It obviously didn't work.
Because the deal is this, okay? Which team do you viably think needs to be kept off the field the most?
New England, maybe?
Exactly.
Well, if we're talking about the running game, I mean, the running game, it's hard to tell, but probably New England, because New England has not lost in a while. What is it? What is the winning streak now? Is it 7?
I believe it's at 7 or 8.
Yeah, but either way, that's a long time. The last team they lost to were the Cowboys.
So think of it that way. And it's not like not all of these wins were against cheese puff teams either, which is the problem what you have with Buffalo. Okay?
Oh, Jamal Edwards is going to hate me.
Listen, he already hates me because he didn't say the word to me after the game last Monday night. All right? And I have not seen him sporting a Buffalo Bills jersey.
You offer a virtual handshake?
Yes, the virtual handshake. Well, actually, for us, it's a virtual pound. All right?
Okay. Well, same thing. It's a sign of respect. That's what matters.
Again, this game is going to be all-out war because guess what ends up happening the week after? Week 16, the Patriots are back in war again with the Buffalo Bills. This is the toughest 3-game stretch that they had for the rest of the season. Buffalo, week off, Indy, back to Buffalo, close out with Miami and the Jaguars. The 2 Bills matchups and the Colts matchup were the toughest 3 games out of their last 5.
And the next game is in New England.
And also remember this, okay? The hoodie.
The
one of
hoodie.
the best coaches in the NFL, has now had 12 days to prepare. I'm not saying Frank Reich didn't have the same amount of time, but he has had legit time to game plan 50 ways from Tuesday for the Indianapolis Colts. The Patriots have to stop the run. The Colts are going to have to stop the run. Sounds kind of like an oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
And it only had a 2.5-point favorite at home. You're looking at a field goal game, probably. Probably. The only advantage that the Indianapolis Colts have is technically right now is at quarterback. And that's it. That's the only advantage that they have. They don't have an advantage in special teams. They don't have a real advantage on defense. Yeah. Quarterback, because Wentz is so experienced, that's what you got to go. Do I still have faith in Mac? Obviously I do. But I'm going Pats, baby. I'm not even picking against them this week. I'm riding the train. I've been trying to ride that train all year long with all the haters, those Buffalo Bills fans that walk around with dildos. Yes, Pats, big.
Oh yeah, give me the Pats, big time.
So that's it for the crop of the games. We're back to a actual 16 a game a week season after this week. Like this week started it up. Thursday night football with the Chiefs and Chargers. Saturday with the Raiders and the Browns. You have the Pats and Colts. And then a full slate of games Sunday and Monday. So it's back to the 16. And let me tell you, for those that have not been catching up on your picks, I'm telling you better be on guard.
I do my picks every week. I mean, as a matter of fact, I always do them ahead.
Well,
I mean, come on. I was invited to do it. I'm gonna take it seriously. I mean, come on.
John, I think, lost 2 games this week.
I lost about 2 or 3. I am curious to know which ones did I get wrong. I know I got the Cleveland and Baltimore one wrong.
I lost 3 games, and one of them was the Bengals because I figured the Bengals would actually show up.
You know what?
And they showed out.
I can pull it up.
So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
It's one of those things.
And apparently, I'm totally missing Janet's comments because they're not coming up on.
Yes, some comments are not showing up. Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Yeah, Janet is just commenting everywhere, and I just cannot see the comments.
Okay, the games I got wrong. Okay, so one of them was the Cleveland Baltimore one. The one that I got wrong was. One of them was the Monday Night Football game.
Well, I do know that the faithful Playmaker in the ESPN League has been sucking our dust for the majority of the season, because you and I are both in second and third. So, yeah, he's not doing good on the ESPN one.
And Darnell vowed that he would be better than me. He tried to pull a little MJF thing.
Well, we're just toying with him now, but when we talk to him Friday and Saturday, it should be fun.
I mean, it doesn't matter. If my Cowboys meet his Rams, I mean, it's done.
All right, so that is it for this show. However, we do have Pipe Bomb Radio tomorrow. We have Pain Train Pipe Bomb on Thursday. We will have a Pipe Bomb Radio NYC / ArchRivals on Friday to go over the 2 Saturday games, because I know Darnell's probably going to have a lot of input on those. And then ArchRivals will be on currently during that Raiders-Browns game, giving our picks, recapping the Thursday Night Football, and making the Sunday picks. That should be fun, Alex. I cannot wait to do that.
It's going to be a good week.
I cannot wait to do that on Saturday. We'll be live during a game, and that should be awesome. Hopefully John will be on. Hopefully Darnell will be here, and we'll have some fun. Little side note, once again, don't forget superdraftpro.com /Pain Prez to join the fantasy app. They also have a reference on there. If you refer a friend, you get $20. They get $20. You can do that as well. I'm telling you right now, the fantasy is amazing. John, I sent the link to yesterday. Or is it Sunday? I think it was Sunday I sent them the link. And then also, we have merch sales going on. I think there's $12 or $15 tees on threadless.com. Link for the merch is in the description of this video or audio. And you got any final comments, Alex?
Nope. So my boys can win out the rest of the season. Either way, they're probably screwed because, how the NFC is looking right now, they're probably screwed.
Except for the Super Bowl when we meet you there. Round 2. Ding, ding. All right.
What, Dallas, New England, the Super Bowl? You're serious?
Imagine that. Imagine that. In Darnell's home stadium. That would be amazing. Mm-hmm. That would also mean that they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, too. Round 2. Ding, ding.
I mean, for me, in my case, as long as the Cowboys can get to as far as the NFC Championship, it'll be heartbreaking we lose that one, but at least we make it that far, then all right.
On behalf of the Bearman and our missing colleague, the Playmaker, I am the Prez. This is ArchRivals, a show done by fans for the fans, and we will catch you guys later. Hey, did you like that show? Like, share, follow, subscribe. Share out our shows to all of your social media. Need merchandise? Check out paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at great prices. Tune in next time for another edition of ArchRivals Football, and we'll catch you on the flip side.